We're about to dive into a reality so different from our own that, well, let's just say you might end up appreciating your own life a whole lot more by the end of this. No, seriously. Just take a second and try to picture it. What would your day-to-day life actually be like? Who would you even be? Because almost every single choice that you probably take for granted, yeah, that wouldn't be your choice to make at all. And that's exactly where we're going to start, with the really fundamental stuff. The ways the government doesn't just control your public life, but your personal appearance, your home, everything. And when I say control, I mean absolute control. This isn't just, a dress code. It's literally, here is a list of government-approved hairstyles. Pick one. Here are the clothes you're allowed to wear. Choose. Any kind of personal expression or individuality? Nope, not an option. This goes way beyond just decoration. In every single home, you are required to hang portraits of the leaders in the most important spot. Think of it as a constant visible loyalty test, because an inspector could show up unannounced at any time, and if they find so much as a speck of dust on those portraits, you are in very serious trouble. So this raises a terrifying question, and it's not just a thought experiment, it's a real dilemma people there face. If your house catches fire, who do you save first, your children or the leaders' portraits? The state's expectation is crystal clear. The portraits come first. Your loyalty to the regime must be greater than your love for your own family. Saving your own kids first could literally be seen as an act of treason. The state even tries to control your emotions. Because a former leader died in December, the entire month is now a mandatory national mourning period. And that means if you're caught smiling or laughing or celebrating anything at all, you face severe punishment. You're in trouble for not being sad enough. So if the government controls how you look, how you act, and even how you're supposed to feel, what's next? Well, the next logical step is to control what you think. And they do this by building a massive, invisible wall around the entire country. Not with bricks, but with a total information blackout. I mean, just think about how you use the internet every day. Now imagine it's just gone. There's no public internet as we know it. No Google, no YouTube, no social media, no reading news from other countries. Nothing. All they have is a tiny, sealed-off national network with just a handful of government websites. It's a complete information vacuum. And what about TV? Well, forget scrolling through hundreds of channels looking for something to watch. You get 2, maybe 3 channels, and they're all controlled by the state, broadcasting propaganda 24/7. There is no other perspective. The government's voice is the only voice you will ever hear. And this is the brutal reality of what happens when you try to get information from outside that bubble. It isn't just a minor offense. There was a report of a 17-year-old kid who was publicly executed, shot in a stadium full of people. And his crime? Listening to a song from another country. Just for listening to music. Now, this next part is honestly one of the most chilling aspects of the entire system. Because in North Korea, when you make a mistake, you are not the only one who pays the price. A single crime can trigger a wave of punishment that destroys your entire family line for generations. It's known as the 3-generation punishment policy, and it means exactly what it sounds like. Your fate is not entirely your own. You can be punished, sent to a brutal labor camp for the supposed crimes of a grandparent you may have never even met. It's an incredibly effective tool for control, because any act of dissent automatically dooms your entire family. So let's walk through how this works. Imagine your grandfather is accused of a political crime. Well, because of what he did, your parents are automatically considered guilty too, and they're punished. And then you are born. And from your very first breath, you inherit that punishment. You are born into a life sentence for something that happened before you even existed. So with all of this, you have to wonder, is there any way out? The system is designed to give this illusion of participation, of patriotism. But in reality, it's a trap. And there is no escape. Take elections, for example. Voting is mandatory. Every citizen has to vote. But what choice do they have? There's only one party, one name on the ballot. It's not democracy. It's a required performance of loyalty. And what if you refuse to participate in this performance? What if you just don't show up to vote? Well, that's considered treason, and the penalty is death. Okay, so you can't change the system from within. The obvious question is, why not just leave? The answer is simple. You can't. It is completely forbidden for citizens to leave the country. The borders are sealed. And the punishment for trying to flee this reality is just as final. If you are caught trying to escape, you will be executed. There are no second chances. Ultimately, all of these rules really boil down to one final, all-encompassing law. You cannot speak a single critical word against the government or the supreme leader. The moment you do, you invite complete disaster upon yourself and upon your entire family. So, after seeing a system with such total control, it really leaves you with a big question. When the freedom to choose your haircut, or listen to a song, or even just disagree with someone is as common to us as breathing, do we sometimes forget how incredibly valuable that freedom truly is?